So Azhar bhai, this film offer in a way that this film is being made in your life.
Correct.
I think Ekta came to you roughly around 2.5 years back.
Yeah,
right?
2.5 years back.
Yeah. Before I come to the part where you suggest another actor's name, I want to ask you, when she came to you, what was your first reaction? I heard that you had refused and said that I don't want a film made of
That's
this
right,
nature.
exactly true. Because first, I think it took me almost like a year to say yes. When I said film on my life, it was very tough. Like everybody would see what's happening and all. But then later on, I got persuaded by my friends also, because they kept telling me you should do it, you should do it. So it just hitting my mind, and then so I said okay, yes. But then as far as the actor is concerned, I didn't suggest any name. They just asked. They were just talking about. Then I said, who you will think? I said Saif Ali Khan. I mean, I didn't think that. I didn't put any pressure on them, but I just said that. But then when they took your name, I was very happy, because I had seen your films, and I really like the way your approach to any film was very good. The way you got into the role, I knew that he is going to be the person who will do justice to the job. And when I started coaching you, when I started coming and talking to you, all my thoughts were confirmed. But then when Ekta called you, what was your initial feeling, or did you ever hesitated to do the film?
Well, Azhar bhai, if I could do a somersault, I would have done a somersault, because your life lends itself to very dramatic film, because you've seen so much in your life. So I didn't take a second. I didn't hear the script then, because उस वक्त script नहीं लिखी गई थी. And I told Ekta that I'm definitely on for it. The first draft was written, I think, in another 2 months after that.
Any thought or aspect you felt that, like when you were playing me, maybe my game or my mannerism, was it difficult for you to
There was the very next second after the thrill and the happiness of being offered the role was dread and fear that, I might be a average cricketer, I might be a below average cricketer, but what can I do after this to match up to Mohammed Azharuddin's cricketing skills? 20-30 years of experience, and I have to encapsulate that on screen and imbibe that in 3 months, 4 months? Next to an impossible task. But it was great that you came on board to coach me. I don't think I would be able to accomplish that in like 3-4 months that we did.
That's good.
So yeah.
Do you think that what you're doing now is easier, or playing cricket would have been easier? Or
Well, I know you've now, after promotions, you've started understanding what
correct.
this profession holds, and there's a long way to go with this also. But I think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. But still, I think cricketers, it's not a very easy job. There are kind of similarities in both professions, because we have to see a lot of ups and downs, and those ups and downs might be a personal experience, but sometimes they're not. It is in public domain. So the success is great, the adulation is great, but when you fall in front of 1 million people, and that's something that's very close to both actors and cricketers. Our destinies change with every match, with every Friday that a film releases. But like they say, we get the luxury of a retake.
That's right. And, that's exactly what I was going to ask.
And a batsman or a bowler does not get the luxury of a retake. Once you throw that ball, or you hit that ball through the crease, or you get out, you can never reverse it.
Once you're out, when you have to go back into that dressing room and see the other person scoring run, you don't feel good about that.
Yes.
Emraan bhai, when your son was detected with this dreaded disease, it was very tough. Everybody in the whole industry and the whole of India, felt for him. Like it was like such a small boy, and you have to go through this, all those things. When we were feeling so bad, as a parent, as a father, how did you feel? What was your first reaction? And you have written a book also, a very, very positive book. So what made you stay positive? What are the quality which you possessed in that difficult time?
I think, when I look back 3 years back when my son was diagnosed with cancer, first of all, it didn't come with any warning
Correct.
sign, which was the most scariest part. And then when you hear something as a parent, the first thing you go through it's actually varied emotions of guilt and anger, because you are taking care and making choices for that little kid, and there's probably there's something that you've done that has eventually, this is why it's happened. So you obviously are hard on yourself in the beginning, but then you have to fight for your son's life, to keep your family together, to fight against the disease. And it's a day-to-day struggle, because after that day, after the diagnosis, first I realized that whatever grand plans you make in life, you know, everything can come crumbling down.
Correct.
I think the very next second something would happen, and I always felt, you know, cancer is something that might happen to someone else. I've seen it happen to other people. It might never happen to my family, because yeah, I'm safeguarding everything. But as much as you try to protect things, as much as a control freak you might be, sometimes, you know,
Yeah,
things
but
fall
sometimes
apart.
things can go out of hand.
I think the strength that we found was a spirituality, prayer, just this optimism that he will be okay, that we will overcome the disease. And I truly believe that cancer can be overcome not just by medication and just the medical intervention, but just mad optimism that, you know, things will be okay. And if I still look back right now, I still don't know how I got the will and the courage to fight the disease. Any parent, and there's nothing special about me and my wife, any parent in that circumstances will find that kind of energy and courage to protect their young one. It's a survival instinct. It's to survive, you know, protect your own, and everything fell into place. I still don't know how I went. Took him to Canada. He had his surgery, had his chemotherapy, and while he was having his chemotherapy, I came back to Bombay, and I was shooting for a film. How was I getting into that character
Yeah, it was tough.
when he was? And it's not just one thing. Every time there's a new hurdle, the platelets are dropping. He had these very weird symptoms. Foot drop. He used to suddenly fall when he used to run.
Oh.
His foot used to give way, and that was because of the chemotherapy.
Oh.
He would start shouting when he had pins and needles in his hands and his feet, and it was because of chemo is at the end of the day poison. It's not just killing the cancer; it's killing other cells also. But you recuperate after that. So I don't know where I got that energy and that courage from. I think it's just prayer and just hope, and hope is what gets you through the toughest times. And if I have to pose the question back to you, you've been through a lot of ups and downs in your life. So where did you find the courage and?
I think my biggest courage comes from my strong belief in Almighty Allah, because I always believe that whatever happens, it happens by the will of Him. You know, there's nothing in the world which will happen without His knowledge or without His consent. So when actually when I lost my son in the accident in 2011, actually I was in London. I just landed and then I'd gone off to sleep, and then suddenly I got a call. And then I asked, the first thing I asked my servant, that is he all right, or is he, what's the problem? Then he wouldn't say anything. He just kept saying that Baba ka accident ho gaya, Baba ka accident ho gaya. But then when I spoke to Abbas, and then he said, you know, he had an accident, so he's been hospitalized. But then, I mean, I just kept praying that, you know, like, okay, fine, everything is fine and all that. But suddenly, after some time, I get a call saying that my sister's son was a pillion rider, and then he also he was the one who passed away first. You know, he died at the moment, and then that was a very big shock. And my sister, like, she was like, I spoke to her and she wouldn't talk, and then spoke to my brother-in-law, I wouldn't talk. But then I took the flight back. But then all along, you know, like that 9-hour journey, I mean, I was very nervous at the end of the day. But then I just kept on thinking that, you know, I mean, he will survive. When I came back, he survived for 4 days, and then he died on the 5th day. You know, he could not, because he was brain dead at some point of time, and then all his organs started to deteriorate, and then he just passed away at 11 o'clock or something, 11:30 in the afternoon. That was a Friday. But then the first thing that came to my mind was that, you know, like, I felt that, you know, in Islam, I mean, everybody knows that, you know, it was, I felt that it was Allah's property, which was given to me for some time, and then after some time, I think it is taken away. So it's His will and wish. there's nothing I could do except that I had to take care of everybody, my father, my mother, and everybody was there, Umar's mother and Sangeeta, everybody was there, so I had to take care of everybody. And then I really don't know, I think I got the strength from, I think my grandfather has always taught me that you have to be brave, you have to be strong all the time, from him. And then I think the Almighty Allah really helped me at that time to go through that, because if I had, if I didn't stay strong at that time, everybody, all my whole family would have, would have been very tough for them. So, but I stayed put, I had to look after everything, I have to run from here and there. And then every day, like during the hospital, every day I used to meet about nearly 300 to 400 people used to come and visit all the time, people from different places. So that also gave me strength, that I knew that, there are so many people who are coming. I think I was always hoping that at least one prayer, if it is answered, He will come through. But I think Allah had different things, so not a single prayer was answered. But that's how it is. Sometimes you have to live it with those things. But as long as you think positive, in the sense, you have to stay positive. There's nothing you can do. I can't keep thinking negative about him all the time. Then he should not have gone. Rode the bike at that time or whatever. But then I have to just think positive, that okay, fine. I have to pray for him, and then I have to move on. It's the simple thing you can do.
So Azhar, thank you for having this chat with me. The entire crew, all of us are eagerly awaiting for you to see the film. And of course, there's one part of having your fans and the audience accept the film. But the other one is when the lights dim in that theater and you watch the film and you come out, just hope you give us a thumbs up on this film. So,
no, I've already given thumbs up. The whole unit, they've really done very well. And I think, I'm sure by the grace of Allah, everything will be fine. And then whatever hard work you people have put in, my hard work was like nothing much, just to tell you exactly how to coach you. It's not that was my forte, coaching cricket. But then for you, it was a very tough job, and for everybody, all the girls who are there in the film, and Tony, he really worked very hard. So I am just hoping that things will fall in place by the grace of Allah, and then everybody comes out successful in this film.
Thank you.
If you like this video, hit the button below and get your film fix.